It's another sellout in Lincoln, 387 in a row, an NCAA record going back to 1962. A touchback, and so the Illini will start on the 25. Leads the country in attempts, 8 consecutive 100-yard games. And on first down, Brown is out to about the 29 for 4 yards. Brown started out at Western Michigan and transferred to Illinois. He's got a twin brother, identical twins, Sidney Brown, who's the captain of the defense for Illinois.
Going to be a big challenge today for the front of Nebraska. It's a very good Illinois offensive line they're going to go up against.
Tommy DeVito, the quarterback, back to throw and dumps it off for a first down out past the 40-yard line, and close to midfield is the tight end Tip Ryman, the former walk-on, just his 8th catch of the year. It's a gain of 18.
Surprised we haven't seen more of these guys, but a nice easy throw there for DeVito.
Back to Brown, and they stuff him at the point of attack. Gain of 1 on the play. DeVito pulls it back, in trouble, but breaks a tackle and dives to the 46. Gain 4 on the play. Should have lost yardage. Caleb Tanner could not bring him down. This is a Nebraska defense that has struggled this year in the 100s in most categories. Let's see if they can get a stop on 3rd and 5. DeVito to the air, and he dumps it off for a first down to Williams, who's free at the 30. Williams outrunning defenders and heading for the end zone. Touchdown, Illinois. 46 yards, 2.5 minutes into the game.
Big explosive play here for Illinois, and it's good protection and just a mesh crossing route for Isaiah Williams. Nobody able to identify Williams on the Nebraska defense. Good blocking on the perimeter, and it's to the house for Isaiah Williams on the opening possession for the Fighting Illini.
Fabrizio Pinton on for the point after, and it's no good. Missed it wide to the left. They've had some kicking issues this year, going between Pinton and Caleb Griffin. Tommy Hill and Zach Weinmaster are deep. And this will go through the end zone for a touchback.
He had to make the tough decision to fire the defensive coordinator, and that's what you got to do as the head coach.
Casey Thompson, the quarterback, dumps it off to a wide open Anthony Grant past the 40, and he is not afraid, as you see on that play. He went right through Devin Witherspoon, the corner, is one of the top corners in the country. He never goes out. He will lower the boom.
Couple of weeks ago against Rutgers, ran through a corner, and you're exactly right. He's only 5'11", 200, plays much bigger than that, running behind his pads. Nice start there for Anthony Grant.
Gain of 19. Thompson stepping up, and Thompson, the transfer from Texas, gets a couple of yards. He's from Oklahoma City originally. On 2nd and long, big hole between the tackles. Anthony Grant cut down finally at the 31-yard line. Gain of 23.
But nice job here by Ethan Piper, the left guard, pulls around, nice hole.
They give up 78 rushing yards per game, and they got 22 on that one. This is one of the best drives we've seen against Illinois to start a game in 2022. Thompson off play action, taking a shot, incomplete. Trying to hit his favorite target, Trey Palmer, their leading receiver with 47 catches. But again, excellent corner out there in coverage. Devin Witherspoon, who's number 2 in the country in passes broken up.
It's going to be fun to watch that go on all day.
Thompson to throw again with a ton of time over the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. It was at the 2nd level. Seth Coleman got a hand up, batted the football into the air. 3rd and 10.
It's a dangerous pass there over the middle. A lot of bodies in there, and he really missed Trey Palmer working a shallow cross over the middle.
Been battling injury off and on. Did have a couple of weeks off. Low snap bye week last week. That pass high and picked off inside the 20-yard line. The receiver didn't look like he had any idea where the ball was, and Quan Martin with an easy pick inside the 20.
And it's an out route, and that ball is poorly thrown behind him. An easy pick for Quan Martin, the 13th on the season.
Off to a slow start here today, down 6-0. Flag down, dead ball foul.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Alex Pihlstrom, the center. So that will back Illinois up inside its 15.
This fan base, this crowd, it's one of the most passionate, best crowds and fan bases in all of college football. And see if they can get some life out of this football team.
And here comes a jet sweep to Isaiah Williams, and he's trying to get the edge. He can't. Wrapped up and finally thrown out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Loss of 1 on that first down play, so 2nd and 16. Give it to Chase Brown off left tackle. Gets some of it back. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Miles Farmer on the stop. Brown is from London, Ontario.
44, Garrett Nelson, their best pass rusher.
DeVito dumps it off. Williams gets a block. And they finally push him back at the 23. Luke Reimer, arguably their best player, who did not play in their last game 2 weeks ago in a loss against Purdue. He's back. They lost Nick Henrich, their captain, out for the year with a knee injury. But Reimer steps up and forces a punt.
And a nice play there on 3rd down.
29-year-old Hugh Robertson, 3rd oldest player in FBS, punting it here to Trey Palmer. And Palmer with a fair catch at the 34-yard line. Now out of the pistol, they're going to run it. Grant up to the 38-yard line, brought down by Johnny Newton. They really excellent defensive ends in that 3-4. Keith Randolph and Newton. Big 3rd down here, trying to keep Chase Brown on the sideline. Thompson in trouble, gets outside, throws back across the middle to Grant, but a great tackle. Man, Witherspoon, physical. The corner making the hit. And there's some saying he might be a top 15 pick, could be one of the top corners. He's a junior. There's the punt by Buschini, trying to shield the sun. At the 10-yard line is Williams, and he's got some speed past the 25, and then Williams finally bottled up at about the 33-yard line after a return of 24 yards.
And you're going to continue to see it too, Dusty, because these man beaters are always going to include some form of the mesh in the underneath crossing route.
On 1st down, run play to Josh McCray, who is back after missing most of the season due to injury. It's his first game back. DeVito with a quick throw and a great tackle at the 34-yard line. Quentin Newsome came flying into the backfield to take down Hank Beatty on that wide receiver screen, and it's a loss of 3.
What's the recognition? He sees it, and he breaks and plants on it, drives on that football immediately. Big-time negative play, putting Illinois in another 3rd and long situation.
Mathis hasn't had a great year. He's a 2-time All-Big 12 when he was at TCU. He's trying to get back there, and he does force DeVito out, but he's got room, and DeVito has a 1st down. Or did he step out short? He actually stepped out short at the 41. So Robertson on the punt again. Oliver Martin is back this time. And the fair catch made right at the 20. Just an amazing transformation we've seen with this football team since Brett Bielema took over 2 years ago. Across the middle, completion, but again, there's no missed tackles as Borkercher is wrapped up by Calvin Hart, bringing up 3rd down. He was at Missouri for 6 years, 3 as the defensive coordinator before coming to Champaign. Forced out of the pocket is Casey Thompson. Looking to make something happen, and does. Out to the 40-yard line, Alante Brown, a 1st down. Gain of 15.
When Casey Thompson gets out on the perimeter, nice job with patience, surveying the field, back across his body, finds an open target, and a big conversion there on 3rd down.
Inside 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Thompson just 4 for 8. Back to throw again. Got a receiver, but he missed him, and Trey Palmer couldn't come up with it. Threw a pick in the red zone on the first possession. He'll throw it here, trying to set up a screen to the tight end. Past the 45, Brewington into Illinois territory. Brewington past the 30, inside the 20, and down to the 16. Huge play for the Nebraska offense, 44 yards.
Boy, I love this play design by Mark Whipple. You're going to pull 2 offensive linemen out, and you're going to throw it to your tight end. No one accounts for it for Illinois, and an outstanding job getting out in front by the big bodies of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Huge play. A way to slow down that Illinois defensive front. Very well executed by Nebraska.
Thompson will throw again from the pocket. In trouble. Spins out of there. Thompson moving to his right. Still has the ball and then just throws it away. Nebraska's lost 19 straight games to ranked teams. They go under center this time, and Grant straight ahead inside the 10 down to the 9. They have an excellent offensive coordinator in Mark Whipples in his first year here. He really did wonders for Kenny Pickett at Pitt. Try to have the same success with Casey Thompson here. And Grant wrapped up and dumped on 3rd down and short. So it's a 26-yard field goal try. And Timmy Blakerode puts it through, just his 5th made field goal of the season. But Nebraska, after turning it over the first time in the red zone, comes up with points. Binding is deep, but not going to have a chance at that. That ball's hammered through the end zone for a touchback. Well, and if you flip it to this team here that we're watching, I mean, think about it. Some rough times for Illinois as DeVito has his tight end wide open past the 40. Ryman out to the 44.
You have Brett Bielema back in college football, back in the Big Ten. All the success he had at Wisconsin and getting it done here at Illinois.
Right, been in the NFL the last few years as an assistant, worked for Bill Belichick. No running room there for Chase Brown. They stuff him after a 2-yard gain. O'Shawn Mathis in there first.
But I think most people would expect it, but the talent, it's there.
Quick throw by DeVito to Williams, who turns upfield, keeps his feet, and gets the first down. Boy, he has been quite the find, turning him from quarterback to receiver. Gain of 12. He had the touchdown on the first drive for Illinois earlier. From the Nebraska 42-yard line. Quick pitch to Brown. And runs out of real estate. Pushed out by Reimer.
Nice job keeping this ground game in check.
5 carries, 14 yards for Chase Brown.
I think Barry Lunny's done a good job, too, the offensive coordinator, of mixing it up. If it's a heavy box, let's go ahead and throw it.
Illinois trying to distance itself at the 4-1, hosting Michigan State next week. Purdue the following week. Still have to go to Michigan. Chase Brown running between the tackles. His best run of the day by far. Miles Farmer got him down before the line to gain. It will bring up 3rd down and about a yard. He had 5 carries, 14 yards in the first quarter. Got 8 on that last play. Give it to him again. He gets the first down off the left side. Then you see the offensive line moving bodies downfield. Another 8 yards on that play. DeVito to throw, and he's hit backside and sacked at the 25. Garrett Nelson. 5.5 sacks now on the season. Officially no gain, so he won't get credited with the sack because no negative yardage. DeVito on the run, hits Williams out in space, trying to cut it back, but good play again by Luke Reimer. So solid. Former walk-on has become the leading tackler. He's from here in Lincoln. Now he comes in motion behind DeVito, is going to throw it to him, and Williams looking to throw it back here, and Williams in trouble, gets pushed out of bounds. They might be out of field goal range. Pushed out near the 35. What a disaster for Illinois. A loss of 12 on the play.
Remember, former quarterback, he decides, I'm just going to tuck it. It's very well defended there on the perimeter. And Newsom with an outstanding job getting him out of bounds.
But as a former quarterback, why wouldn't you just throw it away? They're going to try a field goal, 52-yard try for Caleb Griffin, who's long this season is 48 yards. And now a timeout. The kick, I think, was good, but there was a timeout called by Illinois.
First charge timeout, Illinois.
Caleb Griffin just made the 52-yarder, but a timeout was called by Illinois. And now some movement by the Illini. Nebraska was jumping all over the place, and that looked like it caught Illinois off guard. Mickey Joseph fired up. Bielema not happy.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Oliver Martin is deep. Hugh Robertson to punt. This lands at the 4 and checks up. Well done by Hugh Robertson. See some shifting there, and now Jaquez Yant, the ball carrier, trying to bust it to the outside, in trouble, and down he goes at the 5-yard line. Chased down by Seth Coleman. A loss of about 2 on first down. Standing on the goal line, Casey Thompson has time. Everybody covered. Now got a man. It's pulled in by Brown at the 30. Alante Brown out near the 40-yard line. Somehow he came free after initially being covered. Gain of 33.
What's the route from Alante Brown? He's working on Martin, and he just kind of turns around like it's going to be a little hitch and spins around, and Martin unable to keep up with him. And a perfect pass delivered there by Casey Thompson.
Dad Charles, a quarterback as well at Oklahoma. Friends with the head coach here, Mickey Joseph. Run play off the right side, nothing there for Yan. Again, it's Seth Coleman on the takedown. First in the country in fewest yards allowed. Thompson finds some running room off the left side past the 40, scoots out around the 45-yard line. So a gain of close to 8 on that play. 5 minutes gone by, second quarter, still 6-3, 17th ranked Illinois in front. Third down and 3 for Nebraska. Thompson looking to throw, hoists it downfield. It's pulled in at the 30-yard line. Breaking free is Vokalek. Vokalek to the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. 56 yards. Nebraska takes the lead. Bleak Roads. Extra point is blocked. It's picked up by Sidney Brown. Keith Randolph blocked the extra point. We've had 2 missed extra points here in the first half.
Big Ten Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you want an edge in the competitive market, Rocket can.
A pair of missed extra points, and it's 9-6 Nebraska. This will be a touchback. Illinois will start on the 25. See if Illinois can get back to the ground game. Chase Brown, who's the nation's leading rusher, has been held to 30 yards so far in this game. He'll get a touch here, and he's spun down in the backfield. Nowhere to go for Brown. Luke Reimer again there for Nebraska, along with Jamari Butler. Tommy DeVito, grad transfer. Syracuse, 6th year, college football, 24 years old. Will throw it here over the middle. It's caught by Isaiah Williams, but gain of only 5 with Buford having good coverage. So third down coming up.
0 blitz.
Now in trouble, DeVito walloped back at the 21-yard line. And it was Isaac Gifford, the nickel. A loss of 9. Hugh Robertson's been busy. He'll punt this one from inside his 10. Palmer is deep. He's been rotating as the punt returner. Signal for the fair catch. And they'll mark it at the 30-yard line. But look at that. Midway point of the second quarter, and already Nebraska's offense has matched them. And now they get more, but a drop. Oh, Ramir Johnson might still be running. First time we've seen him in the game. He plays running back and receiver. He was wide open. They could not connect. And it's, again, great play designed by Mark Whipple and company. 2nd and 10. Here's Grant. And in trouble. Down he goes at the 30-yard line. That was a nice play by Sidney Brown. We talked a lot about his twin brother, Chase. Sidney, identical twin. Now it's 3rd down and 10. For Nebraska, up 9-6 on the 17th ranked team in the country. A timeout by Nebraska.
Chris Kleiman's a heck of a coach. That's an impressive start to that game for the Wildcats.
3rd down and 10 for Nebraska. Thompson hit. Ball flutters up in the air like a punt, and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Sidney Brown. He's got some running room past the 20. Brown inside the 15 and down to the 11-yard line. 2 interceptions for Illinois today. 14 on the season, and Thompson is hurt.
Big shot on Casey Thompson. As he's down in the field, they're going to tend to him. Nice job looping around the inside by Seth Coleman. Gets the big shot there on Casey Thompson, and You described it perfectly. Ball flutters like a punt, and Sidney Brown right there, right place, right time, and a nice return after the interception. Man, that pressure was immense. Excellent job there by Seth Coleman.
Sidney Brown second on the year. Here's Chase Brown, gets a huge head of steam, drives the pile down near the goal line. They'll mark him short, but he got more than 10, so it's a first down. They've done a good job against him until that run, really. First and goal now from the 1. Got the defense on its heels. Brown again, this time he's smacked, but he falls forward into the end zone for the touchdown. Isaac Gifford with a hit, but Chase Brown just drove right through him and hits pay dirt. Illinois takes the lead back 12-9.
He's a powerful running back, and you know, Gifford comes in clean, gets the shot on him, but unable to keep Chase Brown out of the end zone. Nice job by Illinois cashing in quickly after the big takeaway. He's a great package, man. Speed, quickness, power.
Right around 1,100 yards on the season now. The extra point good from Caleb Griffin. Pinton missed an extra point earlier in the game. It's our first made extra point, 13-9. Caleb Griffin throws on a different jersey because there are 2 number 5, so he kicks off. It'll be a touchback, and we'll check in with Kevin in the studio. However, this might be a little surprising. Logan Smothers, not Chubba Purdy, is in the game at quarterback. He's had only 2 snaps all season. He did throw 33 passes and started a game a year ago. Smothers will throw on first down. Trey Palmer out in space. Nowhere to go, maybe a yard. So second down and 10. Smothers is a guy that can run, and you see it there past the 30, and that could be the reason why he's in there. He had a 7-yard run against Northwestern in one of his 2 snaps this year. There you see Casey Thompson coming back to the Nebraska sideline. Smothers in trouble, and down he goes, sacked. Keith Randolph, who had the blocked extra point earlier, made the tackle. It's 4th down and about 2.
Excellent penetration here by Keith Randy. You see him work inside, shoot through the gap.
Officials timeout.
Out of 4-eye technique, and makes a big negative play on 3rd down.
And now Thompson's going back to the locker room. He came back and was on the sideline, then went back to the locker room. So we'll see if it's Smothers the next time Nebraska comes out. Brian Buschini, who's the FCS punter of the year at Montana a year ago. They need a good punt out of him. High in the air and fair caught around the 27-yard line by Williams. 50-yard punt, no return.
As we've referenced a couple times, a big game right here as it relates to those standings.
Here's Chase Brown picking a hole, and again able to muscle his way out to the 38-yard line. Keep it on the ground here with Brown, able to get the first down out to the 42-yard line. That's 5 more yards for Brown, who was bottled up early but starting to find some running room. We're inside 4 minutes to go now here in the first half. Brown or bust in the second quarter at running back. They keep feeding him, this time running right. Brown breaks a tackle at midfield inside the 40-yard line and finally tracked down by Reimer at the 37. 3 minutes to go, 2 timeouts for Illinois. Love up the middle inside the 35, but that's it. Gain of just a couple. Garrett Nelson get off a block. DeVito to throw, and it's behind the target but caught by Casey Washington close to the line to gain. Looks like he's got it. It is a first down. Washington's first catch of the day. DeVito still perfect on the day. 10 of 10. Here's Love. And Love is inside the 25 to the 22 for about 5 more yards. 1:15 to go. Here's carry number 14 for Chase Brown. Cut down at the 19 by Buford. So 3rd down coming up. Will Illinois use a timeout? 2 remaining.
We're ticking down under 45 seconds now.
Huge 3rd down for Illinois. Here's Brown, and he's hit. Going to be close at the 17. Think he got it. Let's see where they spot the ball. There's only 35 seconds left. It is a first down. The clock's running. Illinois has 2 timeouts. Now Brett's trying to call it, and does with 32 seconds left.
Second charge team timeout.
With 1. They have a 4-point lead.
It's a 30-second timeout.
Play 9 of the drive that's lasted 4 minutes. DeVito looking, steps up, now throws on the run. It's caught at the 10, wide open, and into the end zone is Luke Ford for the touchdown. A penalty marker is down at the 2-yard line, though.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 89. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's on Tip Ryman. That obviously is a big penalty. Again, because of the spot foul, it's 1st and 5 on the 12-yard line. DeVito, and well over the head of the intended receiver, Pat Bryant. That was the first incompletion for DeVito today. Here's 2nd and 5. DeVito to throw, looking for Brown, wide open out of the backfield. Easy touchdown for Illinois.
The offensive coordinator knows exactly what he's getting. Man-to-man coverage. So he goes 2 receivers to the top into the boundary, and they're both going to run slants. It's going to clean everything up and leave Chase Brown wide open on the wheel route. Easy pitch and catch. Great play design, and a huge touchdown for Illinois here before halftime.
And Griffin hits the PAT.
Talking with Coach Bielema yesterday, he talked about, I love adversity. I embrace it. We talked about some of the adversity he faced after leaving Arkansas and how it made him a better coach.
Nebraska just going to take a knee here and go to the locker room as Smothers ends the first half. 14 consecutive points by Illinois to take an 11-point lead to intermission. Whether it's Logan Smothers, more of a runner at quarterback, or Chubba Purdy, Casey Thompson injured in the first half. It's a touchback. Nebraska will start on the 25.
Everything changed those final 6 minutes, and we'll see if Nebraska come out a comeback.
And Purdy dumping it off to Anthony Grant out past the 30. So it is Purdy that's getting the start here in the second half. With more, here's Tom. Mickey Joseph, game 5 as the interim head coach, but Purdy can run. He slides. He started his slide at the 35, so that is a first down. He had thrown 12 passes on the season. Most of those came against Oklahoma in a blowout loss earlier this season. Purdy in trouble here, flushed out of the pocket. He gets out of there, and Purdy turning it upfield, and again slides, and he's hit by Brown, and here comes a penalty marker. You have to hold up if you're Sidney Brown. That's going to be a 15-yarder.
Following the play, personal foul, late hit. Defense number 30. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Sidney Brown comes in over the top right as Chubba Purdy engages in that slide. And that is so tough for a defender. As we see Purdy go to the ground, and Sidney Brown, as tough as it may be, you've got to hold up, Dave. You've got to hold up and not put a shot on the quarterback.
But Nebraska's already scored as many points as Illinois allows per game this season. Ryan Walters, the defensive coordinator. Here's Purdy off play action, going downfield, almost intercepted. Knocked down by Martin on a ball that looked underthrown. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
With Quan Martin playing that deep center field safety, and they're deep. They get 20 to 24 yards, allows great vision and the ability to break on the football, and he comes flying in, and almost the 3rd interception of the day for this Illinois defense.
And Walter's going to be head coach. Just a matter of when. Flags down, yet shifting and moving going on. So 5 yards here.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
He's got great energy, passion. Spent some time in Oklahoma, got a chance to know him, and really is a name to keep an eye on as one of the bright young coaches in college football.
Purdy on 2nd and 15, throwing downfield, incomplete. He was trying to hit Trey Palmer. Illinois has only given up 17 second-half points and only 7 fourth-quarter points. Just going to keep it on the ground on 3rd and 15, and Grant is knocked down to the point of attack. So basically a forfeit there, and they will punt it away. Buschini will try to pin Illinois deep. Miles Scott and Isaiah Williams are both back. Angled to the far side. It's going to land at the 15 and take a Nebraska hop inside the 10. Down to the 8-yard line.
Captain, leader, key piece to this offensive line.
In his 6th year, they run the ball up the middle, past the 15. Another gain of 8 for Chase Brown, pushing and shoving downfield. 80 yards at halftime for Brown, his first carry of the second half. 2nd and 2. Quick throw by DeVito to Williams. First down and more. Than he fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Quentin Newsome of Nebraska inside the 25.
Isaiah Williams with a ton of open space in front of him. He just drops the football. Ball on the ground, Newsome on top, and now the Huskers in action after the takeaway. That was massive there to get this Nebraska team alive and back in the game.
There wasn't even a strip. He just lost the ball. Even a field goal gets you to a 1-possession game. Purdy trying to set up a screen, threw it behind Trey Palmer. Whipple, a lot of success with quarterbacks over the years, including Kenny Pickett last year with Pitt. Here's Purdy looking to run, wrapped up and hogtied at the 23 by Kendall Smith. So maybe a yard, if that. 3rd and long coming up. He's not even in your picture. You see a shadow there on the right side of your screen. And look how far back he is there.
Surveying the land.
Purdy to the air, in trouble, getting out of there at the 35-yard line, throwing back across the middle. Sidney Brown with his 2nd interception of the day. Just a terrible decision by Purdy. Now a flag comes down because of extracurricular activity, but that was after the interception. You can't make that mistake. You had 3 points, but Purdy threw a pick.
Well, maybe that's why they ran it on 3rd and 15 earlier. I'm going to tell you what, man. Devin Witherspoon, man-to-man with Trey Palmer. I mean, he wanted Palmer, waited. Nothing ever came open.
Result of the play is an interception by Illinois.
By Chuba Purdy back across his body.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, original defensive team number.
Again, throwing late,
15-yard
across
penalty,
the middle.
First down.
There is a penalty on Illinois, but again, it was after the change of possession, so a 15-yard penalty.
Correction, half the distance.
On the Illini.
Big Ten Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you want an edge in the competitive market, Rocket can.
Been saying that for years about Nebraska, trying to get back to being a contender in the Big Ten. Brown running left, upended after a gain of 1. Another run play, gain of about 4 for Brown. 3rd down coming up. Still plenty of time to come back and win this game. Obviously a stop here would be a good start. In trouble, DeVito gets out of there and throws complete for a first down. What a great play by DeVito. Casey Washington on the catch. Boy, Tommy DeVito so far in this game has more touchdowns, 2, than incompletions, 1.
Well, Garrett Nelson, nice job on the inside rush. He flushes DeVito, moves to his left, and he locates Washington open.
There's 2nd and 5. DeVito on the move, finds Love, tracked down by Reimer and tackled before. For a long time there with Tom Osborne is not reasonable. But what about challenging in the Big Ten?
Yes.
As they get a completion and a first down to Brian Hightower out to the 37.
On somebody. It doesn't have to be 5 guys or 10 guys, but just slowly start to build that caliber of player.
Here's Chase Brown past the 40 and finally brought down. He was out the gate.
Where are they drawing from? Where are they getting their players? And how close proximity to Lincoln are those players?
Brown, and knifing in to make the play is Colton Feast. Boy, Nebraska needed that negative play on first down.
Nice,
loss of 2.
Nice play there by Feast from the backside.
Play action. DeVito setting up on 2nd and long. Now steps up. Flags. They're down. So is DeVito at the 47. Brought down by Devin Drew. Holding likely here on Illinois.
There are 2 fouls on the offense. Holding number 89. That penalty is declined. Holding number 78. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
He's got a lot of pride in this place, and talked with him yesterday. He's confident they can get a big-time coach.
Design quarterback run, DeVito into Nebraska territory and out of bounds, and then hit late. Big mistake by Reimer right in the Illinois bench. And the Illinois players didn't like that. DeVito is up. Reimer laying off of him. No punches thrown or anything like that. There is a flag down, but that was for the late hit on Reimer.
First down as this Illinois drive continues to march down the field.
Right, and if they go down and score, the game's probably over. And who knows, does DeVito say something there? The way he stopped and looked back here, is he saying anything? But still, you can't lose your cool if you're Reimer and make that hit.
Personal foul, late hit. Defense number 28. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
And you know what? Give Illinois a lot of credit. There are a lot of guys, I guarantee, that want to take a shot at Reimer.
Now they kept their cool.
But again, it tells you that what Brett Bielema is preaching, these guys are buying. Oh, what a move by Chase Brown, reversing field, but just runs out of room. Boy, Buford showing some speed to make the tackle. Illinois scores a touchdown. For all intents and purposes, it's probably over, given Casey Thompson, the starting quarterback, is injured. Now we got a timeout by Nebraska. Second longest in the FBS. That's an Illinois record, and a 2nd and 7 for the Illini from the 25. Brown gets about 3 to the 21, bringing up a critical 3rd down here for Nebraska to try to stay in this game. Gonna run it. Brown, and I think he got it right at the line to gain at the 13-yard line. So it's Caleb Griffin, and he puts it through, and so it's 23-9. Tommy Hill going to take it out of the end zone here, and he will not make it to the 20-yard line. That was not a good decision.
Problematic here for Chubba Purdy in the second half.
Started the second half, Purdy did. They run Grant, and he breaks a tackle. Grant across the 25, and flags come in as Grant is tackled at the 32.
Holding offense number 7, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Okay, so 2 flags for the same thing, but that negates a really good play for Anthony Grant, who they need to get going to just help out Purdy.
Yeah, they need to get Anthony Grant going, absolutely. And it feels like every time something good happens, Nebraska can't get out of their own way.
But a spot foul, so 1st and 10 on the 18. Gonna try Grant again, trying to get the edge. It's not there. Boy, Sidney Brown, they got some speedsters on that back end. Try Grant again on 2nd and 10, and he's able to find running room. But again, the speed on the back end of Illinois, it looked like that might go for about 30. Instead, it goes for 8. That was Taz Nicholson who ran him down, but still Nebraska will take that. Went to JUCO, was the National Junior College Player of the Year 2021. Purdy keeping it now, dumping it off, and a big hit that time by Martin on Brewington, the tight end. He did not get the first down. It's 4th and 2. Nebraska's going to have to punt.
Wow, how about this? Quan Martin, center field, safety position, standing right behind the linebackers. Watch the speed as he closes in on Brewington, and as soon as Brewington makes that catch, he is tackled immediately.
Isaiah Williams is the deep man here for Illinois. Immediately signaling for a fair catch, and he's got the ball around the 27-yard line. 47-yard punt, no return. 1 minute to go.
You referenced they head to Champaign the following week. It's going to be a fun November.
Love gets the carry. Good second effort. Ball came out. I think they blew it dead first, though, at the 30-yard line. It was recovered anyway by Julian Pearl, the left tackle.
Rolling on the field, forward progress to stop prior to losing possession of the ball. 2nd down.
Reviewing to see if the ball comes out before his knees down.
Boy, I did think it was out.
The ruling in the previous play is under further video review.
The question is, when did they blow it dead and say forward progress was stopped? they'll be able to hear that on replay. They'll be able to hear the whistle. I thought it was out, but it was recovered by Illinois anyway.
The ruling on field was forward progress to stop before loss of possession. It is second down for Illinois.
You love the replay process. Huge fan.
I'm just saying, it seems like more and more of the college game is becoming uniform with the NFL rules, but this is one thing that, especially on a play like that, it's recovered by Illinois. It doesn't matter. 36 seconds to go in the quarter. And here's DeVito keeping it, gets a block, look out. DeVito past midfield and then steps out of bounds.
Well, it's a great block by Bryant. What I love, it's the counter once again, but now DeVito, he's going to keep it. The corner crashes, receiver gets up on the safety, and it's a nice pickup for Tommy DeVito.
And you only got to do it once, right, Dusty?
Now you have to respect that the quarterback being able to keep the ball off that counter.
Been incredibly efficient, as he has all year long. Just 2 interceptions thrown all season. They'll keep it on the ground here. What a move by Brown. Didn't get much, but made it look good.
Brett Bielema said he was exactly what I'm looking for with his toughness, his experience, and
DeVito just throws that away. Smart play. Only his second incompletion of the game, by the way. And it's 3rd and 5. DeVito out of the backfield is Brown, and a good tackle short of the line to gain by a defensive end. Here in 4th and 3 at the 45. A lot of guys are going for it, but you got a 14-point lead. This is the right move. Nebraska hasn't moved the ball with Chubba Purdy at all. Some movement by Illinois there. One of the personal protectors.
False start. Offense number 2. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Robertson just got that one away. He crushed it, though, over the head of the returner, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. He went out in the second quarter when they had the lead, 9-6. They now trail 23-9. And here's Anthony Grant in trouble. Does well, though, to get positive yardage. Picked up, lost the ball, and Illinois jumps on it at the 25-yard line.
And it's
ruling the field a fumble
with a physical
recovered
tackle.
by the defense. 1st down, Illinois.
As we'll see him come in and lift Grant up off the ground. That ball comes loose, and Illinois is on top of it. They can cover, they can tackle, they take the football away. Man, this Illinois defense, it's been as advertised here this afternoon.
There are some similarities to how Brett Bielema won at Wisconsin. Keep it on the ground here with a 14-point lead. No running room, though, for Chase Brown, driven to the ground at the 25.
Evaluating personnel said it's made him a much better coach.
DeVito to throw, and it's behind Brown. Made a nice catch, but no gain on the play. Maybe even lost a yard. So 3rd and 11 coming up. They're legit. They're going to be 7-1 if they hang on and win this game, and 4-1 in league play. Brown on 3rd and long, wrapped up and thrown down by Mathis. So 4th down. Big points here for the Illini if they can get them early in the 4th quarter. And the kick is good. 26-9. A lot of those guys are young too. We haven't called Trey Palmer's name at all. Give Devin Witherspoon a lot of credit for that. Returner out to the 25. Winemaster brought down there. Let's go to the studio and Kevin. Purdy downfield, incomplete. Going for Palmer. Witherspoon in coverage. The crowd wants interference, but looked like a good no call.
I've seen less called this year in college football. I didn't think it was.
Who's the contact on, though?
Grabbed his arm, kind of pulled it down. I think that could have warranted a flag. Witherspoon was in good shape, but there at the end when he kind of grabbed that arm, could have drawn a flag.
Wow, no room whatsoever to run for Yant. Spilled by Bryant and Keith Randolph, being certain of the status of Casey Thompson going forward. This is an audition right now for Chubba Purdy. Smothers was the first guy off the bench. Purdy on the run, dumps it off to Washington, but again, just great defense by Sidney Brown. What if Chase Brown won the Offensive Player of the Week in the Big Ten and Sidney Brown won the Defensive Player of the Week in the Big Ten? Identical twins, Big Ten Players of the Week. That'd be a first in conference history, probably college football history, I would imagine. Sports history, too.
Six tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, caused fumble, 2 picks, 1 for a touchdown.
He's going to win more than Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Here's Chase Brown getting the corner. A late flag. Brown is out of bounds after a gain of about 15. Likely
holding. Wow. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Yes, they do. I mean, both sides of the football. It's a well-rounded team, well-rounded offense. It's impressive to watch.
Brown cuts it back up to about the 19 on first down. Illinois trying to milk some clock here. Everybody's going to be playing weeks here, right? And you're going to have 2 byes, considering how many more games are going to be played. Isaiah Williams past the 25 out to the 28. And here in the Big Ten West, Illinois in command on the road. DeVito on the run. High percentage throw to Isaiah Williams on third down. And he's able to get the first down. Chase Brown pinballs forward. And then finally, they blow it dead at the 40-yard line. That's the 30th carry for Chase Brown. 143 yards on the day.
Not saying Chase Brown isn't capable, but at some point, everybody starts to wear down a little bit.
There's Brown again, no gain there. We saw Reggie Love a little bit. Josh McCray, who had been banged up, was out there for a couple snaps, but that's it. There's 31 carries now for Brown.
4 rushing touchdowns this year, sorry, and he's caught his 3rd here today, so.
Another carry for Brown on 3rd and 4, and he gets the first down. There was a chance for Nebraska. Illinois turned the ball over. Again, give Illinois a ton of credit. They've been the best defense statistically in the country all season long. And since the middle of the second quarter, again, they've been that as Reggie Love is brought down at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of a half yard. Meanwhile, Michael Marquez is still down on one knee at the 36-yard line, and trainers are surrounding him. Hopefully, Michael is all right.
But sure, I think that it's definitely possible. I do think that Kentucky-Tennessee game tonight, very, very intriguing there in Knoxville.
I think it should be Tennessee and Georgia as the top 2. If Tennessee wins tonight, as Love is bottled up at the 49, and now Mickey Joseph will use a timeout.
A lot of football left to be played, but I see what you're doing. You're creating the conversation and starting the narratives already.
I'm just trying to help you with your 5 hours of radio you have to do on Monday.
It's much appreciated. Thank you so much, Dave. You could have an undefeated Clemson. Let's not forget about them.
Undefeated TCU.
We could go undefeated TCU. There's a lot of what ifs and a lot of football left to be played.
And this could all change next week, and we could have 500 other scenarios that we're discussing because, again, you just don't know. We've seen Wake Forest today getting beat by Louisville. Nobody saw that. So Nebraska taking over, down 17 points with 3 minutes to go. 1 timeout remaining. Purdy in trouble, and a second. Back at the 14-yard line.
I watch you like that. You wear the same underwear every game day here, don't you?
First of all, how would you know that, and why are you asking me that? 3rd and 12 for Nebraska. Purdy in trouble again and sacked again inside the 10 by Newton.
School was so small, under-recruited, and realized real quickly when he watched him as a wrestler that they had something special. He is 6'3", 265, not built like a true freshman. Got a bright, bright future, part of this defense. I mean, I believe he's going to finish out this game with, what, 1 grab, 7 targets, 1 reception on the day for Trey Palmer. And that was the matchup I kind of highlighted before the game to keep an eye on. And that was a one-sided affair.
7-1 for the first time since 2001. They won 10 games that season. They are right now the clearly best team in the West. They've got a full game lead over Purdue. They will play the Boilermakers here in a couple of weeks. This was an impressive show. Brett Bielema has Illinois back. The Illini win it 26-9 on the road.